Stop trying to reinvent the wheel and weld on some accessories. Good rising, family. Good rising. Black Feniks checking in. The owner of HogOn Welding and the founder of HogOn University. And this rising, I am in the backyard, about to get ready to actually put my welding skid back on the truck. And I actually got to build a couple things, some add-ons that I'm about to do. And a few people ask me about products. They say, um, man, you got to come up with a brand new thing. Man, it's hard to come up with a new idea. Honestly, we try to reinvent the wheel, family. The wheel been rolling for how many years? It's been in, it's been in rotation for a while now. But you can weld on some accessories. You can add on some accessories. You know what I mean? And I like to say weld on accessories because we welders, we installers. And for those who are not, you can add on accessories to it, like some type of things. Think about now. At one time, when cars was coming out, we had the 13s and the 14s and maybe the 15 rims. That was like, that was what's up. And then now you got all the way to 30 something. People riding 30s and 28s on an average, like daily basis. Man, I got 26s on the truck. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is. Like, but at first it was just regular wheels. So someone came up with the idea to enhance the wheel, to make it look better, to add on to some, and then, and literally majority of them cost the vehicle to actually ride worse or add more wear and tear to the vehicle. You know what I'm saying? But we look at it for image. So when you're thinking of a product, fam, don't think of just starting something completely new out the blue. It ain't got to be something no one has never thought of. You know what I mean? How we get, oh man, I got to come up with something new. You could be using a tool, family. I can see people use tools, and they have a specific tool they use all the time. And then it's like, man, you know what? If it had this on there, and they made this certain add-on to this tool, sold it to the company that has already been making the tools, now they paid because they came on with an add-on. You know what I'm saying? So it's more ways to look at it, fam. You know what I mean? Like this morning, I was actually up at the drawing board, coming up with some things. It's early, drinking my coffee, man, and I was just thinking how, when you get to certain areas, just because you're in a small area doesn't mean you have to think like that people in the area. Doesn't mean that your mentality got to be small. Doesn't mean you have to place yourself in the box like they place themselves in the box. You know what I mean? So just think outside of the box, family. You know what I mean? Figure out ways you can add on to something that's already existing. Some type of product. It might be something that you use all the time. How can you add on? How can you improve it? How can you make it better? You know what I mean? That's what it's about, fam. And today, like I say, the goal is I'm going to be unloading this, taking all the stuff off of it, getting ready to put it back in my truck. You see, I took my hard top off. And I actually bought this just to do when I do renovations and I was moving and doing different things. It's good to have that. And I actually got this top for like the low. Most people get it so they can look nice on their truck. Ooh, man, I'm flossing. I got a top to match. No, I didn't get it for that. I got it to actually cover my stuff up when I'm doing the renovation of my mom's house. I was buying wood, sheetrock, and different stuff. And as we know, man, that stuff is expensive. So you try to want to take care of what you got. So I actually got that for the load to just do that. So, but on the average, my skid got to be in the back of the truck, and that's how I make my money. And I want to say this too. Don't just advertise or say you do something, and when the people see you, they don't see you doing it, or they don't see you having none of the stuff that actually do it. So keep that in mind too. Be about what you say you're about. So, you don't have to actually reinvent the wheel. And, it's just like different things, accessories. Check this out. I like these. Now, the paint is starting to come off of them now. But these are just some different lug nuts, but I like them. They're longer. They just kind of look stylish a little bit. And, they ain't sticking out too far where it really hurt nobody, but it looks kind of cool. You know what I mean? But that's an accessory to a wheel. The wheel been going. Somebody said, man, I'm going to make some longer lug nuts and make them look like this here and put them on there. And now they got a product. That's a product. Products over talent. Use the talent to make a product. Adding accessories to the wheel, man. We just got to think outside the box, fam. I just think that the more we think like that, the more opportunities we'll have when we're networking and we're building our wealth, when we're trying to establish different business ventures, when we are exploring different avenues for education. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. because a lot of times you're going to waste a lot of time, frustration, and there's so many patents around certain things, but you can always have an add-on. And even certain patents go out over time. Like they can only have a certain pattern exists, a patent exists for a certain time, then they have to actually go back and redo this and do that. That's why you can see a brand come out and they'll be the only one with this certain product and they'll be booming. And then later you'll see some knockoff. Oh, so-and-so making that now? Man, I can get that from so-and-so. That's because they can only lock it down for a certain amount of time. They can own it, they can lock it in. After that time, somebody else can make one, not just like it, but something like it similar. They might say, hey, well, you can save time. It ain't got that part in it, but it still works. You know what I'm saying? So we have to think like that, fam. And the more I'm in my hometown, I have had to think outside the box. And it was ironic. I'm gonna tell you a small story real quick. Yesterday, I had an older gentleman, I would call one of my OGs who actually I grew up 10 years older than me, who, you know, I used to look up to, and I seen hustle in the streets. I seen work on cars. I seen fight. I seen everything, you know what I mean? And yesterday, you know, the last couple jobs I had, he kind of assisted me, you know what I mean? He did my brakes for me yesterday, which I helped him, you know what I mean? Because I like to learn how to do certain things on my own. So to me, if I have a vehicle, it's just a tool. It's a piece of equipment. That's just some equipment, fam. You know what I mean? So you want to learn how to work on your own equipment, just like your tools and your welder and whatever. You want to learn how to work on your own equipment. So I hired this guy. He showed me how to do it, and I gave me a discount, and we used all my tools. But I learned how to do it on my own. So if something happened and I was in the bind, I could do it because this is my equipment. I don't really look at it as, you know, at one time in my life, it was all about flossing and looking good. And man, I don't want to get no this on it. Man, I'm messing my paint up. Man, I don't care about none of that now. You know, it's all about a means to an end. I like to keep my stuff up, but as long as it's making money, it's protecting me, I'm not going to cry over spilled milk, fam. So, you know, I just wanted to say, you know, having a guy over here and him telling me, hey, man, I want to network with you. He was like, hey, Joe, you know, you good at this. I'm good at this. You know what I mean? He showed me he was doing that, man. I was like, boy, okay, I see what you got going on. You know, man, you good. And he was like, bro, but I want to network with you, man, on these renovations, man. He said, I like how you move. I like your work ethics. I like your style. He was like, man, you got a good, you left and you got this. Let me add this to it, and I got another helper, bro, and we can really get some money. So we, you know, then sat down and was able to form up a little team. So now it's all about getting some things going, letting actions speak louder than words. And we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. He just know that I have something to offer that he don't have. You see what I'm saying? And that's where the barter system come in. And that's where, you know, why I say adding some accessories to it. He got a wheel that's been rolling. He's way older than me. He's been doing it for a minute, and it's working. It works. But he was like, hey, you got some new sauce. I like that sauce you got. Add this to this wheel, and we finna really get some money. That's how we got to think, fam. That's how we got to think. Adding accessories to the wheel. So this morning, actually, like I say, I was up this morning, getting everything together because I got to unload this, get everything done. So I drove my truck over here so I can be able to get all this stuff done. So this morning, that's my goal, is to get everything off the ground. Like I said, I got a lot on my plate this morning, so I'm going to try to kill 7 birds in one stone. Get my hog on, fam, get my hog on. But I just wanted to come to you, man, and just talk to you about this because I really think it's important, you know, just to be practical, you know what I mean? Because we don't really think like that. And sometimes we get in the bind when we're trying to build our businesses and create different things. And we be like, man, I got to come up with a whole new thing. You know what I mean? Sometimes, fam, we can just add on to it. You know what I mean? Even in relationships, you know, sometimes you think you got to have a whole new thing. And sometimes it can be that add-on, you know, that you was missing that whole time. You know what I mean? So always, you know, don't try to just, I always tell people, man, I was talking to a younger guy the other day, and I was like, don't go try to find a woman at a certain level and you think, oh, I'm finna build her and get her right here. There's nothing wrong with getting someone that want to grow with you. But in life, I have learned from my personal experiences, you want to find someone on that level that you on, that y'all see eye to eye, that y'all can click up and keep going. But if you meet someone that's down here and you up here, they might not want to come up here. And you can do everything you want to do. You're not finna change that person. You know what I mean? You're not finna change a wheel that's already been rolling. You know what I'm saying? So you have to get in where you fit in, fam. You know, I remember a guy told me when I got out of prison, he was like, man, don't get out there and try to play catch up. Catch in, check in. I mean, he said, don't try to play catch up, check in. Meaning, don't try to get out and, man, you've been gone for 10 years, Feniks. Don't try to get out and make up for those 10 years you've been gone. You ain't gonna be able to do it. That's gone. The kids, they gonna be, you can't make up the birthdays, you can't do none of that, but you would try. Well, man, let me get my swag on, man. I gotta get back in the youngsters. Here go you. A decade past, you trying to live a decade younger than you because you trying to catch up with the Jones. He said, nah, man, just check in. Where your, you know what I'm saying, where your peers at, what's going on right now? What can you do in your family right now? You're a granddaddy, well, how can you help right now? You know what I mean? Just check in, man. Don't try to catch up. Because sometimes we try to catch up, family, and we get ourselves put in the bind, trying to do too much, you know. We seeing it right now, what's going on with the feds and these new cases and these laws and these rappers and these artists and, you know, and just media and just, you know, the stuff that's going on right now, fam. It's evident that we have to protect our dreams, fam. We have to really be cautious and live one day at a time. One day at a time, fam. But don't get to the fact, you know, I heard some person, man, you know, everything's going downhill anyway. So, you know, why am I going to prepare? Man, you got to prepare. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. We don't know how long we're going to be here, but if we prepare each day, we can get something accomplished. We can do something. We can get to that next, you know, get to that next level. So sometimes, you know, even though you're making small progress, fam, you're still making progress. And that's why I wanted to say, you know, this rising about not trying to reinvent the wheel, fam. Just weld on some accessories for those who welders. If you not a welder, add on some accessories. Some accessories. You know, I see people do it all the time with jewelry, with clothes, you know that old movie Boomerang. He said, man, you got to coordinate, man. We got to coordinate, man. We got to add something to it, fam. You know what I mean? Like, it's real out here right now. And if we don't come up with a way to come up with our own, fam, we're going to be struggling forever. Our family's going to be struggling forever. It's going to be a continuous cycle of people just chasing their tail. You ever seen a dog just chase a tail? He ain't going to never catch it. You see what I'm saying? That's us. So we got to come up with something, fam. So, you know, I was thinking that this morning because I had posted something about what true passive income is before I let y'all go. When you're creating a product, when you're creating something that'll stand alone, see, some things you got to create that it's always you have to go back and make it again. But certain products you can make, and once you make it, you can put it on the shelf and it's done. And then as you promote it, people go to the shelf and get it. You know what I mean? And you make it in a way and make it available where they got to give a little something, you got to give a little something, and it's worth for both parties. You see what I'm saying? It's at a good number, reasonable price, and they'll always shop, and they'll refer people, hey man, I got that from so-and-so. You see what I'm saying? So it's all about coming up with a product that you don't have to necessarily be involved in after you create it. It might take you a year, 2, 3, 5, whatever. But once you create the product is going to stand alone. You can actually put it out there, have it, you know, have your website up and just let them purchase it off your website. And then you can be able to have real, true passive income. Now you paying for the site once a year, your little fees, but that's it, fam. But having true passive income is creating something that can live without you being involved in it. Like creating a child and then that child being grown and you see that child making babies, that child in another town doing whatever. That's what you want to do with your passive income. Once you create it, you nurture it, you get it where it's good and healthy, and then you watch it grow, you watch it live, you watch it produce. And it's just like having children, man. So I really think that it's important that we create a form of passive income by having a products over talent, product over talent. And I like to say that, not meaning that talent is important, because we got to have the talent. We got to have some hog in us to be able to create something. But once you create something, fam, don't just depend on your talent. That's how we become slaves to the system. A lot of us are going through different turmoil on jobs that you don't really want to be on, but you got to be on. You see what I'm saying? You haven't figured out a way to create your own income, so you use your talent and you're creating income, but you're unhappy. You're working for a place, you're unhappy, you're sad, you're depressed, you're going through it, you know what I mean? You're not feeling life, so life is too short for all of that. If you can create something, spend some of that time now and go and create something. That way you ain't got to struggle, you ain't got to go through the BS, and you can actually see something in the long run. So I just wanted to say that this morning. I'm out finna get ready to go and get something started, and I want to go and get a move on, because yesterday, fam, it got a little warm yesterday, so I want to kind of get some of this done before it gets too hot. That way I ain't too sweaty and I can still do some more stuff, because I sweat a lot, fam, when I get to grinding. So when I get to grind, I have to change clothes completely all over again. But I'm used to it. I'm used to getting my hog on, man. One thing though about being back in the South, from being in Phoenix was real dry. So I sweated, but I wasn't like soaking wet all day. Like when I was in Georgia. In Georgia, I love it, man. But once down there, I was in Southern. I get to sweating down there. I'm wet all day. Like I had to literally take my clothes out and dry it out, or I'd be sour. But anyway, fam, I just wanted to talk to you, man, about not trying to recreate or reinvent the wheel, but actually adding on, welding on some accessories. You can do it. Yesterday, I had to weld on. I had to fix. Check this out. And it's cool to have some skills, fam. Deal broke yesterday. I had to weld it on to the jack. Easy fix. And dude was like, boy, it's good to be a welder. Hey, man. It is what it is, fam. But we got to learn to get our hog on, man. Y'all be blessed. Continues to prosper. Have a good day. Hog on, fam.